The two-story house on Maple Street had always been the perfect refuge for Daniel. After a messy divorce and relocating to a new city for work, that rental property represented a fresh start. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and best of all, the isolation needed to recover emotionally. Daniel, a 34-year-old software engineer, had chosen to use only the first floor. The master bedroom was downstairs, along with the living room and kitchen. The 2 upstairs bedrooms remained closed, unfurnished, unused. Why go up there when I have everything I need down here? He thought while organizing his few belongings. His routine was simple: work remotely during the day, binge Netflix at night, sleep around 11 p.m. The neighborhood was quiet, mostly composed of elderly couples and young families, perfect for someone seeking peace in suburban Ohio. Initial incident. It was on a Thursday night, 3 weeks after moving in, that Daniel heard the first noise. It was 2:17 a.m. when he woke up to a rhythmic sound coming from upstairs. 3 heavy thuds, like someone walking in work boots across the hardwood floor. Daniel lay motionless, in bed, listening intently. Complete silence. Must have been a dream, he muttered, rolling over. This time there was no doubt. The sound was definitely coming from the room directly above his bedroom. Daniel sat up, heart racing. He lived alone. He was absolutely certain he had locked all the doors and windows before going to bed. He grabbed his iPhone and turned on the flashlight. Walking to the staircase, he illuminated each step. Everything looked normal. He climbed slowly, stepping on the edges to avoid creaking. In the upstairs hallway, he flicked the light switch. All 3 doors were closed, exactly as he'd left them. He opened the front bedroom door, empty. The hinges squeaked, echoing through the silent house. He checked the other 2 rooms. Nothing. Windows were shut and locked from the inside. How settling, he concluded, trying to convince himself. Old construction, temperature changes, but the noises returned. Every night, always around the same time, between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Sometimes they were footsteps, other times a dragging sound like heavy furniture being moved. Occasionally, a prolonged creaking, as if someone were slowly opening and closing a door. Daniel began going upstairs every night to investigate. He always found everything the same: empty rooms, locked windows, no signs of break-in. In the second week, the electrical problems started. The first time happened on a Friday morning. Daniel was in the kitchen brewing coffee when the upstairs hallway light turned on by itself. He could see the glow spilling down the staircase. He rushed upstairs. The switch was in the on position. He was certain he hadn't flipped it. Electrical issue, he rationalized. I'll call an electrician. But it wasn't just once. The upstairs light began turning on by itself with increasing frequency. First only in the morning, then during afternoons. Finally, in the middle of the night, always accompanied by the mysterious sounds. Daniel installed a smart home energy monitoring app on his phone. The electricity spikes coincided exactly with when he heard the noises. That's when he began noticing other details. One morning, when he went upstairs to turn off the light that had activated itself, he noticed something strange on the hallway floor, a faint dust mark that hadn't been there the day before, like a partial boot print, almost imperceptible. Another time, he found the front bedroom window slightly cracked open. Just an inch. But he was absolutely sure he'd left it completely closed. The most disturbing incident happened on a Tuesday. Daniel was working on his MacBook when he heard a different noise from upstairs, like someone rummaging through objects. He immediately went up and found something that made his blood run cold. In the back bedroom, on the windowsill, were 3 small items perfectly aligned: a quarter, a paperclip, and a pen cap. His belongings, which had gone missing from his home office desk over the past few days. Someone was getting into the house. Someone was collecting his possessions. Someone was playing games with him. Daniel decided to set up surveillance. He installed a security camera app on his iPad, positioned the device to film the staircase, and pretended to sleep. At 2:23 a.m., he heard the familiar sounds. This time, he didn't move. He just watched the iPad screen beside his bed. The image showed the stairs in greenish night vision tones. The footsteps continued for about 5 minutes. Then the upstairs hallway light turned on, partially illuminating the staircase in the recording. Daniel saw a shadow moving at the top of the stairs. Someone was up there, for real. His heart pounded, but he forced himself to stay still. He needed more evidence. The shadow moved back and forth, always just outside the camera's angle. After 15 minutes that felt like hours, the light turned off. The sounds stopped. Daniel waited another 30 minutes before getting up. He checked the recording. Everything was captured. The shadow, the movements, the light turning on by itself. But who was it? And how were they getting in? The next morning, he examined the entire house meticulously. Doors, windows, possible entry points. Nothing. Everything locked from the inside. That's when he found it. In the back bedroom, what had always appeared to be a regular wall revealed an almost imperceptible detail, a thin vertical line in the wallpaper, as if there were a seam. He pressed lightly on the spot. A section of the wall moved. It was a concealed access panel leading to a small compartment between the walls, large enough for a person to hide. From the compartment, an opening led to the attic crawlspace, allowing movement between the upstairs rooms. Daniel illuminated the space with his phone's flashlight. He found an old sleeping bag, some energy bars and water bottles, and a collection of his personal items. Besides those he'd seen, on the windowsill, there were photos of him taken from picture frames, some personal mail, and even a few pieces of clothing he thought he'd lost at the laundromat. And at the back of the hiding spot, a spiral notebook with observations about his routine, work schedule, eating habits, when he left the house, everything documented in small, frantic handwriting. The last entry was from 3 days ago. He's getting suspicious. Need to be more careful. Maybe it's time to make contact. Conclusion. Daniel didn't wait to find out what make contact meant. He immediately called 911. When the officers arrived, they found Marcus Rodriguez, 41, hiding in the compartment. Unemployed for 2 years, Marcus had discovered the secret passage when he'd lived in the house previously, before being evicted for non-payment of rent. He wasn't hurting nobody, Marcus kept repeating as he was taken away in handcuffs. I just needed a place to stay. I just wanted to see what it's like to have a normal life. The investigation revealed that Marcus had been living in the attic crawl space for almost 2 months, only coming out during the day when Daniel was at work. The lights turned on because he was tampering with the jury-rigged electrical setup he'd created in the hiding space. Daniel moved out the following week. Sometimes, in his new home, a 10th-floor apartment in downtown Columbus, he still wakes up in the middle of the night, thinking he heard footsteps in the hallway, but now he knows that some nighttime sounds can have explanations far more terrifying than ghosts or structural settling. The scariest thing isn't unexplained noises. It's discovering that someone real, flesh and blood, has been watching your every move, collecting pieces of your life, turning your home into a stage where you were simultaneously the lead actor and an unknowing audience. Marcus was sentenced to 2 years in state prison for breaking and entering and stalking. Daniel never managed to sleep completely soundly again, because now he knows that sometimes the monster under the bed is actually in the room upstairs, and sometimes he's wearing your face.